Hey, Yahya, nice to meet you.
Hey Dagobert, how's it going?
It's doing good, man. You're my third call of the day, and I am not tired yet, so I think we're gonna be fine.
Cool.
Um, so where are you based actually? Where are you located?
I am in New York, like proper New York.
Wow, that explained the amazing painting behind you. Super fancy.
It's
Okay,
just, it's honestly some generic. I'm in a WeWork at the moment, so it's like,
okay. But I don't know, that gave me like a cool vibe.
cool.
So wow, you're in WeWork in New York. That sounds like the startup life from the movies. Sounds like the real thing.
Somewhat. I mean, it's one of the nicer ones here, so it's like pretty crazy view actually. But yeah, normally wake up early, work on stuff, and then transition. I actually have a day job, so I do that after.
Oh wow, what's your job?
It's a bit weird. There's a solar company in the US. It's like the biggest one. I work in engineering there. So it's like AI automation, for the most part, but more product focused.
That's interesting because your product we're gonna look at after, it's about, I mean, it seemed like it's about design, about brand, not just design, but like I had a very strong design feeling when I looked at it. And so there you're telling me you're an engineer. That's interesting. So you have both kind of skills.
Yeah, I mean software engineer, so it's the same
No, no,
thing.
yeah, you're not making rocket ships, but still, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm super like my background's super product focused, so I think I have a semi decent eye for like design, making stuff look decent and actually make sense. But yeah.
Hmm. So how did you get there? So is it your first indie project? How is that for you?
No, I've been building stuff for a while. I never actually like I'm trying to get into posting on X now, but I have
Cool.
mixed feelings about it because it's like the first product I ever worked on actually did work out. We grew it a bunch, ended up selling it. I'll talk about it in a moment. But we did that all without me having an X at all, actually. So like did not post about it on X, didn't even like tweet at all. In fact, I was on the Indie Hackers podcast, and then they asked me, "Do you have a Twitter account?" So I made one, and then when they shouted it out, I got like 100 followers that day. I'm like, "Oh wow, this is like kind of cool."
That's a good start, yeah.
Yeah, but then never did like capitalize on it, so it didn't really grow all that much. But yeah, so
But so
first thing,
what's the thing that, because I totally get it. X is not for everyone. But so what's the thing that makes you a bit uh not sure about it?
I don't know, like maybe it's the echo chamber I'm in, but it feels like everyone's just selling to each other, and it's like there's a whole
Oh
world of
yeah.
people out there. So it's
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
easy to get zoned into like, okay, these are the only people I can sell to versus go post on Reddit or if you go to like these weird avenues like Quora or Pinterest, you can reach a much larger audience of people, I guess. Even LinkedIn works pretty decently.
Yeah, LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is one of the best for sales.
Yeah.
What I like about X is kind of now it became so fucked up in a way that it's really about having fun more. Like you can be more degen, like you can just be like, I don't give a shit. Because it used to be more like LinkedIn, kind of like LinkedIn now. It's kind of like Twitter 5 years ago, a little bit, even though it's still like a bit LinkedIn, which is a bit serious, which is okay, but it's just not my vibe. But like, I feel like now the value of X, if you want to grow your company, is going to be more like you can meet other founders, you can find partnerships, you can have opportunities, and also you can build up authority. Because it's crazy. Once you start getting 1,000 followers, or even one day 10,000 or more,
Hmm.
it like it's super easy to get invited on the podcast. People will just invite you. Like you just get like when you're kind of like having some authority on X, then it opens all these doors for you. That is quite
Yeah.
awesome.
I've noticed that what seems to be working for me, like I've been trying out all these things, the usual hustle porn definitely doesn't work at all. Like I think
Oh
everybody
yeah,
would
yeah, no.
like to look at that. But whenever I like solve a hard engineering problem of some sort, like I was like I had a memory leak for about a week where I was like diving into it every day. Turned out to be a really simple solution, but like I posted like the 6 things I actually learned. Four of them were just saying use gmalloc for like memory fragmentation, but
Okay.
that like worked out really well and people really like that stuff. So like I think providing for me at least what seems to work is like providing actual value because I don't enjoy shit posting as much as you do.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
definitely entertaining when you do it though.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's very new for me. For years, I was like way more careful with everything. Uh, yeah, it's just that, yeah, it's really good that this example of post you mentioned, because when you do some very deep, more insightful post, like X is a lot of smart people also. Like, I think on average. And so it's really cool. It's, it's crazy how it's still surviving, despite, Elon, who basically kicked out half of the people because they were like, more on the left political side, and he was like, he completely alienated them. So he kind of like did everything he could to destroy it, maybe even though I don't think that's what he wanted to do. And it's still there, and there's still the people, and it's still, when you try like threads or there's not the same vibe. So yeah, so but
Yeah,
it's
I
a
think
but it's this mix of personal and professional. That's
yeah.
that's because LinkedIn is just professional or like personal, but like in a way that's super like it's a show kind of
It's
like
very curated. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, very
this
curated.
thing, that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Do you
So
remember that LinkedIn post that went viral? It's like, I got married this weekend. Here's what it taught me about B2B SaaS.
yeah, it's my
That's the
favorite.
perfect
Yeah,
way to frame LinkedIn, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
But yeah,
I made a joke on Twitter the other day that I probably shouldn't have made it, but some guy I know, and he's kind of like, we know each other. So he was like, oh wow, like he was talking about his best friend who's dead, who died. That was super sad, like really. But
okay.
when my mom died, my best friend he was making jokes about it to help me, So and so I made a joke like, "What did it teach you about B2B sales?" So that's the vibe of Twitter. That's like you're pushing beyond.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's definitely a hot take. Or yeah,
yeah, yeah. Anyway, okay. So you're in New York, man. I want to go to New York. I've been to the US 7 times. I've never been in New York. Can't believe it.
yeah. I've lived in I think all the interesting places in the U.S. Like went to school in Boston and then lived in Seattle, L.A., Vegas, etc. New
You
York's
lived
the
in
only real
Vegas.
city.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very brief stint, but New York's the only real city in my opinion. So just come here and go to California if you want. But yeah,
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco a few times. Florida, also Colorado. But yeah, so what do you mean real city?
like Boston public transportation, I think is a close second. But in terms of actually getting around here, because I don't enjoy
Oh,
driving, for example, or like the density, or you want food at like 11 p.m. and you can go out and it's not like dead streets, right? There's still
so
life.
New York is like this. It's really
Yeah.
like, okay, vibrant. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it's everything you'd expect, just a bit grimier. But I like that, so I think
A bit
it's
dirtier, a bit kind of like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Like
yeah, yeah.
you're in
I've,
France, so yeah, Paris.
France is like this. Yeah, Paris is like this. You don't expect it. Yeah, yeah. I see. Wow, cool. Okay, so you have a job, engineering job, um, and it's how did you go about building what you're building? Because it's about branding. And my previous startup was about branding. Don't know if you know that, but like my previous startup was about branding, and I found it hard to sell branding. Maybe because I was selling to indie makers, and I should have aimed for like B2B or higher.
It's
What?
actually not. Sorry, this probably means I need to update my landing page, but it's a brand data provider. So the idea is that
Yes.
let's say you are um, normally a lot of these B2B SaaS companies, they will reach a point where they're like, I want to add a personalization feature. Like I want to customize my onboarding, or some PM gets the bright idea that, instead of like rewriting their onboarding, let's just pre-fill data, because it does impact the conversion rate. Like it actually reduces your drop off.
I saw that on the landing page, and it's not a problem I have noticed myself. So I'm curious if you have an example, and
Yeah.
then I'm
So
sure I will get it.
right before brand dev and before this job, I had actually built this tool called Essence it was like AI customer research. It was when ChatGPT was going hype. And one thing we needed to do was when someone signs up, it's like you need to make the product look super custom because you're showing them you need the product to look super custom and you need to fetch information on the person who signed up. So like you need them to enter their apps, for example, so you could pull their reviews and analyze them, etc.
Hmm.
But if you tell someone to paste a link, the vast majority of people like somehow misconstrue that. They're like going to paste the wrong link or type in the wrong thing or misformat it somehow. So it's a lot.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to pre-fill it and then say, "Hey, is this you?" Right, and then you just click yes,
Oh.
next page. Or for example, we noticed people were dropping off on the sign-up page where we had like put in your logo, put in your name, put in your description, etc. Like a lot of these AI products, they need context when you're going in, right? They tell like,
Hmm.
let's say you're building like a social media scheduler for companies, right? So you need to
Yeah.
generate content for that company. You could do login to Twitter, or if someone logs in with their email, you already have their domain from their email. So you can just pre-fill the entire page and say, edit the content and click next, or just click next right away, instead of having to ask them to enter the whole thing. It's like a niche problem, but
No, no,
it's
no, no,
still,
no. No. I'm actually thinking, wow, this is much better now when you say it this way. And
I
so
need to redo the landing page. I can't, yeah,
I'm
it's,
thinking maybe you could say, just brainstorming. Uh, like the goal is to optimize, like the value I get is like, because when I read your landing page, I'm sorry for hosting you, but I think it's okay. But
go
like,
for
uh, it seemed like, I mean, I just didn't get what problem it was solving. I saw what it was doing, but now when you
it.
tell it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it solves. And so I think it could be maybe something like, improve the conversion rates of your onboarding. Like stop losing people at onboard. Like that's just because what you told me, you have way more context. Maybe there's a better
Yeah, there's
headline,
like
but
it's hard because there's maybe four main use cases, and my current customers are split across all four. So there's also like I don't know what this class of business is called, but I call it directory-based businesses. Like its launch, they could count as at it as is, although you're super personalized. But
Mhm.
let's say product hunt, for example. The moment that's what I call directory-based business because it's like a directory of businesses. So the moment you
Yeah,
enter, let's say you're signing up for Product Hunt, you want to add a product, you type in your URL. Imagine if it pulls all of the info right there,
the
right?
logo, the color
Yeah,
scheme,
exactly.
everything.
I also pull the backdrop, so like the Twitter header or LinkedIn header or those images, so you can make it
Wow.
look really nice. Um, so there's a lot of those businesses, they immediately see the product, they know what it's used for, etc.
Yeah,
Like I've
yeah.
received two types of reactions. There's yours, which is like went over your head because also probably a landing page problem, not a you problem. But then there's this other reaction I get, which is if you have the problem today, like you literally have it top of mind and you
Oh
look at
yeah,
it,
yeah.
immediately a light bulb clicks and you just ping me.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Can you show us? Because I'm like, now I'm curious. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious to see.
So I'll load up the landing page so people can see what here
Yeah,
what
what I
we're
was
hosting.
roasting. Okay.
Also, if anybody has a suggestion for the landing page, please let me know. This is
Yeah.
in the bane of my existence, like redoing this. But on the bright side, it's pretty. So
It is. It really is. I respect people who can use something else than inter font. So you have my respect for having more interesting font. But like the
oh,
design itself, oh my god, like the way you can like this kind of like shit, I didn't even see that you could move. So cool.
yep.
Yeah.
This is a landing page. These are all actual customers. And then these are the use cases. It's you can pre-fill onboarding, you can enrich transaction data. So like let's say I have an API where you can just type in a transaction line statement and it'll
Yeah,
actually find the company so you can make it look pretty and actually make sense, right? Like this looks a lot better than this for any type of financial
amazing.
apps.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
So that's a good example. If you have a financial app, you can automatically, for a lot of the transactions, detect the name and using your API, show the logo in the list of transactions, for example.
exactly because sometimes the
That's a good
transaction.
example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some transaction identifiers do have the domain in there, so that's perfect. But some of them don't. Like Canva will be like Canva 999.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but
Canva is a very marketable name,
yeah,
but still.
but you have a database that you can somehow you have it to match it somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just added a Google search pre-processing step. It's not that.
No, for sure. No, I get it, but still, it's and do you have like a list of use case on your landing page, like in the homepage, like a link like use case studies or use cases or stuff like this?
I have case studies on there. Like it's on the blog right now because there's only two. People tend to want to. Also, I've realized people sign up, use up their free credits, convert, and then they set it and they disappear forever. I mean, they keep paying, but they just don't want to think about
That's the
it. Yeah,
perfect customer.
it's
That
great, except when you need a case study. So it's like,
yeah,
bro, please.
you need to catch them in the first week or something. Uh,
Exactly. But I also don't want to bug them before they convert. So
no,
it's like
yeah,
a there's a
make
fine
sure.
balance. Um,
Yeah, I get you.
but
And
yeah, so
also,
like one other
yeah,
use case that's super exciting, you know, all these like AI ad makers, like they're like popping
yeah,
off now. Everybody's building one. Um, Obviously, to create an ad for a company, you need to know their fonts, their colors, you need some base assets. So this use case, super proud of. Have a few companies using it. They're all startups though, so it's like if they succeed, they'll upgrade, etc. But if they fail and roll over the company, I lose a customer. So like
and they're likely to fail. Yeah, okay, I see.
yeah, but like the idea is you get all these assets and you can make an ad, right?
Take me through because I read that example, and since I'm not in ads business, but it's okay because I'm not the target. But so it's like if you want to make an ad for somebody else, oh no, or you're the ad maker website. Okay, you're the ad AI ad website,
Yep.
and using your API, if somebody says, "Oh, I'm making an ad for PayPal," you get all of these assets and data
Yeah,
inside
so
for
it's
free.
like the idea is if you want to build some type of tool that uses visual data to generate some assets for someone, like a lot of these new startups are trying to do, you need context. And you
Yeah.
can ask your customer to upload it, or you can just pre-fill it and ask them next. It makes the onboarding super smooth.
And so, how does it? Wait, two questions. So,
Yeah.
how big? How many companies in your in your database? Like
I
how
think
big the company needs to be found?
Oh, it's
Uh,
anyone. I test with Product Hunt and YC like daily, basically. At the moment, I have 10 million companies in
oh,
there, but
okay.
about 50 million links because what I also do is I can geek out about this for a while, so feel free to stop me. But
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Go
you
ahead.
find yeah, you find a company, you find all of its social media, and like you need to fetch the assets from the social media as well. But also some people on social media will just say like my website is Google. So you need like a bi-directional link between the company and the social media somehow to make sure it's the right
Mm,
official social media.
yeah,
Um, so like that's why it's 5 times as many links because I have a bunch of socials as well that I fetch.
I see. I see. And the I don't know, but like just not sure it would help, but maybe putting that. I mean, again, I'm not the target, so since I'm not the target, maybe it's not a good advice. But like putting that you have all of this company data, like the number somewhere, like a big number showing like 50 million companies in our database. Because since you give only big examples, I was assuming maybe it's only like 1,000 or like the top companies. So just giving you that feedback. Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I can also show you the portal. I'm gonna revoke this API key after, just in case it leaks anywhere.
Okay, okay,
Just
cool.
deleted the line. That's why I switched back and forth. I did not prep this demo as I told you, but the idea is you can say type in like let's say Nike, right? and then you'll fetch like Nike's info, their address, colors, slogan, description, fonts, logos, etc. And
Wow.
what's cool is there's obviously the get brand API, so you can fetch all of the brand data, also all of their socials, like if you want those for whatever reason, and any apps, etc. But there's some other APIs, like this one, super proud of, recently launched. Only have one person who's used it so far. It's like hard to market, but the idea
Yeah.
is, let's say, I'm gonna look, sorry, I need to look up launch days domain really
Oh
quick.
wow, I'm scared.
No, it's fine. I checked this out right before. I'm not like blind, but we could try out a few new ones. But like the idea is, let's say you want to fetch the style guide for its launch day.
Holy
It'll
shit.
actually,
How
yeah, I
did you
know,
get
right?
that? Oh my God.
Yeah, obviously this was pre-cached, right? That's why it was super fast. It'll take like if it's a cold hit, like 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, but it's yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can fetch the entire like style guide. And the cool part is there's this problem that everyone in this there's very few people in this space. It's like me and one other company is the actual like legit competitors, but there is this problem where let's say you want to fetch fonts for a company, but the
Mhm.
company uses a custom font. So they have like legal, it's like a legal gray area because you can't
Yeah,
pull the
yeah, yeah.
font file.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
So what I do instead is I find font approximations for completely legal usable ones that are probably built into your system. So you might not
I'm
actually use Inter, but your font looks like Inter. It probably
I
is.
I I I really love that.
Yeah.
I understand why you're proud of it because that's the kind of attention to detail. Man, this is great. Um, and you know, you said there's only two people in the space, and I remember when I was so my branding, that was a logo generator, but that was really branding focused. So we asked questions about the values, and we were asking you, and maybe you can stop sharing when we talk because that
Oh
will
yeah, I got it.
help me. Uh, and we were like asking questions, like crazy questions, like if your startup was an animal, what would it be? You know, like 10 questions. And then at the end, we were like, okay, this is your brand personality. And then based on that, so my ex, who's both my ex-wife and ex-co-founder, she
Oh,
was
how was
like,
that? Sorry.
I can,
Let me talk to you about that after. But how was
yeah, yeah,
building with?
we can talk after. But we were married, we were together for a long time, and we also built this startup together uh, for 5 years. And she still runs it now, but mostly as just a way to get freelance work. Because she's a designer, she's a brand designer.
Mhm.
And we had this thing where it would automate, like she had prepared, uh, because it was before AI also, but like fonts that match your brand personality, color schemes, and she had designed more than 800 actual logos that would like, and I would, and I was the programmer and we would pair everything to make something that was relevant. And
Mhm.
people really, we didn't find enough because we made something automated, so we didn't sell it expensive anyway. We sold maybe 800 or 900 logos. That's not so bad. But, uh, anyway, when I was working on that, I remember there was a lot of startups coming up around this idea of managing your brand guide, and it was very B2B focused. They were like, let's say 5 years ago, 7 years ago, very B2B focused. Like you can upload your brand or generate your style guide. Like you input the data of your brand and then it gives you like the PDF with everything. So you can send to your partners, to your employees, whatever. And I was very B2B focused. And I remember not getting it because I was more like less B2B. Uh, but that makes me think of that they were making a lot of money with that B2B thing of like, solving a very niche problem. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Like it's niche, but like if there's only you and one guy, you can totally get it. You can totally make it.
Yeah, that no, that makes sense. I did that idea has been floated to me multiple times. The thing is, with my current lifestyle, right? I have a job, etc. I need a business where it's like it's low churn and technical, like there's like that sweet spot of small enough that big companies won't go after it, big enough that like any random Joe with like cursor can't build it. It's like super technical, so it's a pain in the ass. And like
Yeah.
it's in that sweet spot.
What was the most painful thing? Just curious.
Oh, dude, it's like it looks super simple, which makes people just like it's deceptively simple, but the idea is within, I think the P50 is like 13 seconds for a cold hit. I scrape 5 links, including social media, which needs like a good proxy. I use a headless browser as well to like render the page, grab whatever I need, and then you take all of the logos and you need to filter out junk and then dedupe them as well. So there's like image processing,
Yeah.
etc. I'll make whatever other network calls you need to make and then format it and return like very quickly. So it's like the image processing itself has been the biggest headache because that
Yeah, I
was
see.
what I like. You can end up in these weird scenarios where for Nike, right, you have the swoosh, but the black
Yeah.
can be like huge, or the swoosh could be big or small, but it's the same swoosh, right? So those three logos you saw underneath, it's actually 12 being deduped into that. So you have to like crop images, take them, do like
Wow.
deduping on them,
Yeah.
which involves like what's it called? I wrote a whole blog post on it, but there's an algorithm called p-hash. It's like perceptual hashing to check for duplicates across images, but you do it lightning
Awesome.
fast. Really cool if anybody has this problem, like you need to check for duplicate images. But yeah, it's like a whole thing. So
And so you said you didn't have the sweet spot, you think? You think it's not the sweet spot for you, this kind of a product?
brand dev is perfect for me because it's like it hits all of those. It's super technical. It's interesting for me to work on, and people really love it. The actual customers who use it. And very low churn because once it's in their tech
Yeah,
stack
yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah,
And you cannot really replace it anyway. You have to use it.
yeah.
So
The only problem is extraordinarily slow growth. It's like get a customer, they try it out, they have to have the problem today. Once they use up their credits, then they convert, etc. It takes a while, and it's not like you can't just really run ads or
and I guess the difficult part also is like you cannot really poach a customer because once they have their solution, they're probably not going to change it. So you have to find them before, but still they need to be ready. So it's like, is that, am I right? Like it's like a small time frame where you need to
yes,
get
it's
them.
like there's exactly. I mean, I have had a bunch of people move over from homegrown solutions because they're just like, we have expensive engineers and it's a pain in the ass to maintain. And there aren't many alternatives. So we're all being like, there's only two, me and someone, and we're getting pitted against each other. And it's like, at least, obviously, I only have the perspective of the people that end up choosing me, but they say it's better. But I don't know. I don't talk to people who choose them. So
But you can, that's interesting. You can get the people who were having a, custom made solution because that's a pain in the
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Because like the headache of maintaining it is not worth it because normally you're using it for one small part of your product. It's not your whole product, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
could
it's like,
even
it's
potentially
not,
even not use it sometimes if you were really, yeah.
yeah.
It's like
I,
improving your product. Yeah.
I'd say it's the same exact style as Dimitro's screenshot API. Like it would follow
Yeah.
the exact same model. It's like same type of customer, obviously different needs, but yeah, it's like that probably would follow a similar journey to him.
So I hear in your voice a bit that is it how do you see the future for that? Do you see yourself keep working on it? I guess so, but like um do you feel like it could go big? How do you feel about it?
I think for this type of thing, like obviously would never raise, but I could see it growing quite big over time, mainly because like I said, it's low churn, slow growth, but people right now, my customers recommend each other. So like founders, when one has a problem and has this problem, the other one immediately recommends it, and it's like
Yeah.
a slam dunk use case. So right now, it's in the beginnings of that curve of like, okay, get enough people to recommend more and more people. I think it's gonna take a while, but yeah, no, I'm happy to work on it. Like it fits perfectly with my lifestyle, at least.
When I saw when you showed the product, it made me think because you said it's for any company almost. Like it could find launch day, which is no, but launch day is tiny still, so it's
Yeah,
if it can find launch day.
you did 10 companies right now, and you have this, like, the whole reason I think launch day is super cool for me. I actually watched a lot of them, like in the background while coding, I'll play one.
You know,
Um,
you're the second person who says this, and that motivates me so much because that's what I want to make. I think we can make this kind of like it feels like a community, but like async, like and every day we're talking, and I think that I don't know. I'm glad you
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
no, exactly. Because it's, I think if you went down the product hunt route and it was just like 100 things launching today, and it's all like there's a lot of AI slop and it's like very low effort,
Yeah, yeah,
I would stop watching personally. But the fact that it's like, okay, this guy picked 10 things, they're coming out, it's worth taking a look at. Like, it's
yeah,
definitely the fact that it's small, and the fact that someone had to commit 30 minutes to an hour of their time to be on a
yeah,
call makes it like interesting.
and pay also, so it
Yeah,
filters
yeah,
the real low quality. But yeah, but my thinking was like, it's not about launch day. It's about your API. I think since it works with almost everybody, every product, it means there could be, I don't know, I feel like it could create a new type of web where anybody has a personalized experience somehow. Like if you're like for example, if you're product hunt, so not me, but like, you know, uh and you have lots of products, I mean everybody who signs up on product hunt with their product, they could immediately have the customized CSS of product hunt. I don't know. It does, maybe probably not a good idea. But like in
yeah.
brainstorming, when I saw your API, I'm like, wait, we could have personalized everything on the web for people who are founders. You know?
That's the I have like a I have a one-page doc with like a mission statement and stuff, but like the tagline is personalize the web, basically, or personalize
Yeah.
at scale. And the idea is that's the vision, is like, okay, everything feels super personalized, but you need to start small and start like individual use cases. So I have like, 5 APIs. I showed you two, just like retrieve and style guide. There's a screenshot API as well. Sorry, Dimitro. I told him I'd be competing with him on this, but
No,
there's
no, go ahead.
industry classification, etc. But over time, that is the vision, that eventually I'd create some type of SDK where somebody just plugs in their API key and it can auto pull stuff and you can integrate it into your app really
But
easily.
you know that just I'm sorry, I'm just excited because I love to geek out about this
No, go
also.
for it.
But like like Apple that just released their glass thing, that
Yep.
glass UI design, and that's like the last. I mean, hopefully they don't they keep using it because I think it was quite cool. But like for 10 years, web design is super boring. Like it's just like Tailwind UI, super boring style, super generic, which is valuable because at least it's understandable by everyone. That's the goal. But that's uniformization. And Apple, like what they did with this, I forgot the name, but like, um, these glass designs, it's like
Lit.
even the last step of that, where the UI basically disappears and there's no UI. And that's one way. But when you tell me this, I'm like, oh, it could be every UI is generic or has like some like doesn't decide on colors, and everybody even beyond brands could have their own, okay, this is my style, and every website, every app is adapting to that
Yeah.
somehow. That would be
Because
cool. That could be another evolution of UI design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've built a lot of stuff before brand dev. Some of it has worked, some of it not. But um, in all of those products, I've ended up at some point where it's like, okay, it would be cool if this just looked like the customer. Like, people love to see their own colors. They love to see themselves in a product, and it kind of
Yeah.
adds a pizzazz factor. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, this is cool, man. I love to talk about branding. Well, so yeah, so your vision now is just you're gonna keep this job and you're gonna work at this on the side because of the slow growth. And what's your vision? Like, what's the next big thing you wanna add on this product?
So I do have a whole like list of things that I'm gonna do product wise. There's some table stakes stuff, like I'm adding an is NSFW field so you can detect, porn brands because you might not want to
Yes.
render them. So that's super important. Industry classification on its own is a whole like there's a bunch of companies competing just to do that. So to do it semi right, because there's, for example, knives is one classification code. It has like 10,000 types of classifications. It's a mess. SIC,
Which one? You said night?
NAICS. So
Okay.
um, if you're working in an insurance tech, you need to classify companies into one of these codes by the SEC that
Oh,
the SEC provides. So that's like a whole other industry that is super interesting to get into. And it built a basic API to do it, and it works decently. It just needs improvement. But there's this whole industry classification portion working on. There's new fields like industries that make sense for people. Like you would love to know if someone who signed up for your product is a B2C, B2B company, is it like a crypto company? Like who just signed up,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. But that,
And
yeah, okay.
yeah, classifications that actually make sense. And then I'm have a list of things that I'm going down. A lot of them are table stakes, like just improving the portal, etc. But I'm building two side tools based off brand dev, and one is going to be, like I said, an AI ad maker just to show that this is doable. Another thing is like it's I bought the domain brand.dev, but I just need a demo tool to show the data in one place. So you could type in
So it's
any.
like side project marketing that also serves as
Yeah,
demoing the use case. That's cool.
yeah, that's short term, and then long term, I'm keeping open just because as I get more customers, they actually start giving me more requests. So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, as people come in, I'm just going to respond to them rather than build in a silo.
that's awesome. I like that it's a long-term thing. Because, for example, I know someone that I started at the same time with when I did this logo startup 7 years ago when I started working on it. And he's still in business doing the same product. Like he's just brand guideline management software.
What's it called?
Brandline.is, because it's in Iceland.
Okay, interesting. Never heard of
And
that.
he's like freelancing. Wait, let me check if that's, no, that's not that. Let me find his email. And let me see. Brandline, something. What's the fucking name? Oh, he had the weirdest Icelandic name. How the fuck can I remember that? Uh, I think
That's
I'm not
fine.
gonna remember. No, no, no. It's interesting to me to
Mm.
remember. Okay, I'm not remembering right now. Uh, and he's just freelancing, doing brand design for people, for companies, and he sell them this solution to them. And now he makes so much money from it now. And I mean, not so much, but like, a second or two times his salary or something, or one time, I think. And like, that's something once they're in, because his customers are going to be like a design agency or marketing agency. Once they're in, they're not going to churn. And so it's like the opposite of like you ship fast, you see what happened, and then it dies. Or it could be slow, and then in 10 years, it's still going even if you don't touch anything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool.
I think there's also something nice about businesses that grow slowly because it also, like these days, the moment something works and somebody posts an MRR chart on Twitter, you're gonna have like five copycats the next day. So
Yeah, yeah.
the fact that it takes a while is pretty great because it forms a bit of a moat. It's like, okay, it was slow for me, it's gonna be slow for you unless you do something super novel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Um,
yeah.
I worked on a like my first product, it was called Stock Alarm. It's like a
Hmm.
stock market alerting tool. And I
Yeah.
remember when I had started, do you still go on indiehackers.com?
No, no.
Yeah, it kind of, I don't know what happened, but it's going down the wrong direction for
The
sure.
vibe is gone. The vibe is
The
gone,
vibe is dead.
100%.
It's been murdered. The homepage is like unusable. I haven't logged on in a while. But I used to post there, and like as we hit like I think we hit like 15K MRR, and then we started seeing these crazy copycats show up where it's like they just copy the exact same
Oh my
apps
God.
or
Yeah,
landing
never.
page, right? Like word for word.
Yeah. Well, never
Yeah.
had that with my previous product, which is probably a bad sign. But okay. No, I hear you. Well, that was awesome meeting you, man. That was really cool. I'm very glad you made it in launch day because I was like, oh, are you sure it's gonna be okay for the audience? But you still wanted to be a part of it, and I'm very glad about that because it was a really cool conversation. Yeah.
No, thanks, man. Thanks for squeezing me in on short notice.
Yeah, 100%. So good luck for your launch day and, speak soon.
All right, have a good one.